अरे मैंने खुद पैदल में बोल रहा हूँ, उसमें है ऐसा बोल रहा हूँ। क्या है? तुझे खुद भी रखा है। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिविकासस्वामिनिधि नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिधि नमः। नमस्ते सारस्वती गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे श्रीशक्तिमादिपाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। मुखम करोति वाचालं मंगलं गायति कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीरघुनाथं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरम्। वागीशा यस्य मदले लक्ष्मीर्यस्य स वक्षसि यस्यास्ति हृदये संवित् वचेत् उग्रोऽपि अनुग्रीवाय स्वभक्तानां केसरी कृष्णस्वभूतानां शां यस्यास्ति भक्तिर्भगवती यस्य देवे परा भक्ति यथा देवे तथा गुरु तस्यैते कद्दाय प्रकाशते महात्मनः यं तत्प्रविश्य माचकां संजीवयत्किलशक्तिधर सुधामन्यां स्वास्थ्यचकश्वात्तुरात्मप्राणानमोकुति पुरुषाय तुभ्यं निज गुरु हरिवाण्या कृष्ण चित्तो विचितो परित पितृगेह दंड संसार कुपः प्रभुवचन सुखाब्दमचेन संसुक्षो मुझे कासो बुद्धि प्रभु एकेन्द्र। हरे कृष्ण. So we are reading from the book The Mood and Mission of Srila Prabhupada. We are at the topic, the section raising people to the human platform. As I am traveling, I don't have the book with me. So this is a short essay. I will read it. Is am I audible to everybody? Is it fine? My voice is good. There is no disturbance.
Yes, Prabhuji.
There is no disturbance, no? There is no disturbance.
No, there is no disturbance.
Okay. Raising people to the human platform. People are living like animals because a dog is running on the street with four legs and you are running with greater speed with four wheels. That does not mean you have improved. You are still a dog. You must remember that. You are not even a human being because, in the form of a human being, your business is to understand Krishna. Reference 1726, lecture 21st June 1976. The Krishna consciousness movement is trying to raise the animal like humans to real human status. 1727 reference, letter 29 October 1976. Human life is not meant for imitating the life of cats and dogs and hogs. That is not human life. We are trying to bring human beings to the standard of human beings from the standard of cats and dogs' life. This is Krishna consciousness. Reference 1728, lecture 2nd October 1975. You have got this human form of life. Now it's your business to inquire about the absolute truth. Ahara Nidra Bhayamaituna. Hitopadesh 25. How to eat, how to sleep, how to enjoy sex, and how to defend. That is the animal business. If you remain busy with these four principles of bodily necessities of life, then you remain on the animal platform. Beyond that, when you inquire about God, that is human life. Athato Brahma Jigyasa. So we are trying to raise him from this animal life to human life. Reference 1729, conversation 17th August 1976. Raising to the human platform means raising the consciousness beyond the bodily concept of life. We are trying to eradicate this bodily concept of life. An animal is thinking, I am dog, I am cat, I am cow, I am ass, on account of this bodily concept of life. And if we human beings also remain in that bodily concept of life, then we are no better than the animals. The animal eats, we eat. The animal sleeps, we sleep. Animals have sex, we have sex. The animal differs, we also differ. So if we remain engaged only on the principles of four demands of body, then we remain animals. Our extra education requires that quote, I am not this body, I am spirit soul, unquote. And there is necessity of the soul. If we don't come to this platform, then we remain an animal. So this Krishna consciousness movement means we are trying to bring human beings to the platform of spiritual consciousness or real human beings. So long we remain in the bodily concept of life, then we remain animals. A reference 1730, conversation 2nd October 1975. Practically, there is no religion. And without religion, human society is animal society. Dharme nahina pashubhi samanaha. Quote, human being without any ideas of religion, God, he is no better than animal. Unquote. That is the difference between an animal and a human being. Animal eats, we eat. Animals sleep, we sleep. Animals have sexual intercourse, we have. Animals have also different, we also different. These are common features. And what is the special feature? The special feature of human being is that he can understand what is God. So if he does not understand God, he is an animal because the distinction between animal and man is being avoided. So far other activities are concerned, they are the same. But what is the distinction? The distinction is that in the human society, there is an endeavor to understand God. And the animal society, there is no such endeavor. When the so-called human society becomes devoid of God consciousness, it is animal society. Saeva Gokhara, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 84, Text 30. So this Krishna consciousness movement is meant for raising the human society to the real platform of human society, not to keep them in the animal platform. Reference 1731, conversation 1st March 1975. Okay. Benefiting even lower species. A distinctive feature of the Krishna consciousness movement is that it aims to benefit even living beings in lower species of life. Even man or animal, everyone can take part in the Krishna consciousness movement, Bhakti Yoga. Reference 1732, lecture 24 April 1974. This was practically demonstrated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who in Jharikhanda, quote, proved that by the propagation of the Sankirtan movement, even the wild animals can live in peace and friendship. And what to speak of men who are supposed to be civilized? Reference 1733, Srimad Bhagavatam, Introduction. Following Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's example, Srila Prabhupada wanted to uplift every jiva in every life form, even subhuman. Even today, the chanting of holy names can benefit living beings in all species. The word Sarva Bhuteshu is significant because it applies not only to human beings, but to all the living entities appearing in the 84 lakh species of life. The devotee can do good not only to humanity, but to all living entities as well. Everyone can benefit spiritually by the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. When the transcendental vibration of the Hare Krishna is sounded, even the trees, animals, and insects benefit. Thus, when one chants the Hare Krishna Mahamantra loudly, he actually shows mercy to all living entities. Reference 1734, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 31, Text 19, Purport. Of course, animals and other living species are not capable of understanding this moment. But if even a small number of human beings take it seriously, then by their chanting loudly, all living entities, including even trees, animals, and other lower species, will be benefited. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inquired from Haridas Thakur how he was to benefit living entities other than humans, Srila Haridas Thakur replied that the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is so potent that if it is chanted loudly, everyone will benefit, including the lower species of life. Quote, sorry, reference 1735 from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, chapter 9, text 39. This chanting, quote, is universal, even for the animals, unquote. Reference 1736, conversation 9th March 1968. Even a child can take part in the chanting, or even a dog can take part in it. Can anybody remember where is this? Even a child can take part in the chanting, or even a dog can take part in it. Does anybody remember from where is it? for seeing the reference. This is from Hare Krishna Mantra purport. Yes, purport to the Hare Krishna Mantra transcription from an audio recording in the Vedas. Practically, as Srila Prabhupada attested, quote, we have seen sometimes dogs also dance to this Krishna consciousness chanting, unquote. 1736, conversation, 9th March 1968. Okay, I can request some of the devotees to read who is there. Yes, many devotees have joined. Okay, Jagannath Chandra Prabhu, you can start reading
Okay, thank you, Prabhu.
if you are there.
Yeah, helping the world, even materially. Via ISKCON, Srila Prabhupada intended not only to teach the spiritual science of Krishna consciousness, but to make the world's population aware of the basic flaws in contemporary civilization and to demonstrate to them a better way of life. Krishna consciousness can radically improve the world. The Krishna conscious movement has the potential to radically alter the world for better, the better. If Krishna consciousness,
Prabhu, when you are reading Krishna consciousness and Krishna consciousness, these are two words. So Krishna consciousness, you should read, fully, properly. Otherwise,
okay,
it is
yes,
just Krishna consciousness. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
okay,
Don't hastily read. Read
yes,
slowly,
okay.
no problem. We are not going to do some big thing here. Just
Okay.
slowly, no problem.
If Krishna consciousness is preached all over the world, the darkness of ignorance and the anxiety of material existence will turn into the whiteness of purity, peacefulness, and prosperity. Reference 1739. The Nectar of Devotion, chapter 22. This moment is meant to save the world from degradation and spiritual death. There is a great need for the Krishna consciousness movement all over the world to save the world from degradation. Reference 1740. Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 7.128 per pot. This very important Krishna consciousness movement is meant to save human society from spiritual death. Reference 1741. The Science of Self-Realization, chapter 1.
See, when you are reading Krishna consciousness, you are putting more stress over there. Because you are habituated to read Krishna consciousness very fast. So you have to be mindful when you are reading Krishna consciousness.
Yes, yes,
Okay?
yes. I
Yes.
think yeah.
Yes.
They're trying to save human society from degradation and actually elevate people to the higher nature. Reference 1742. Srimad Bhagavatam 10.13.4. Without Krishna consciousness, everything will be a failure. 1743 reference. Lecture 8 November 1976. Yet, if people agree to follow the instructions of Bhagavad Gita, the world will change to be like heaven. Bhagavad Gita is there, Krishna is there, instruction is there. If we take it, then it will immediately change the face of the whole world. Immediately, without difficulty. Reference 1744. Lecture 9th May 1977. If you strictly follow Bhagavad Gita as it is, oh, then there will be heaven. Everything. 1745 reference. Conversation 24 April 1977. This moment has so much to offer. ISKCON will give to the world so many valuable jewels. Reference 1746. Conversation 25 May 1972. Chanting is the key. The auspicious chanter of the holy name of the Lord is as auspicious as the Lord himself. And the moment of pure devotees of the Lord all over the world can at once change the troublesome face of the world. Only by the propagation of the chanting of the holy name of the Lord can we immune from all effects of the age of Kali. Reference 1747. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.16.32-33 purport. Even today, the world situation can be like that during the time of Lord Rama. When Lord Ramachandra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, was the king of this world, all bodily and mental suffering, disease, old age, bereavement, lamentation, distress, fear, and fatigue were completely absent. There was even no death for those who did not want it. Reference 1748. Srimad Bhagavatam 9.10.53 text. All these facilities existed because of Lord Ramchandra's presence as the king of the entire world. A similar situation could be introduced immediately, even in this age called Kali, the worst of all ages. They said Kali Kale Name Rupe Krishna Avatara. Krishna descends in this Kali Yuga in the form of his holy name, Hare Krishna Hare Ram. If we chant offenselessly, Rama and Krishna are still present in this age. The kingdom of Rama was immensely popular and beneficial, and spreading of this Hare Krishna movement can immediately introduce a similar situation even in this Kali Yuga. Reference 1749. Srimad Bhagavatam 9.10.53 purport. However, there are some conditions. The people of the world must be ready to accept devotees' guidance, and the devotees must remain focused on why they are doing what they are doing. If people agree to take our guidance, we can change the face of the world. That is a fact. The whole world will be peaceful immediately. Yeah. Reference 1750. Conversation 15 April 1977. I have very great hope for these traveling parties, our Gurukula school, and all our other projects. That by engaging ourselves in this way, we don't forget the purpose of such activity. Then we shall revise the nasty situation in the world as it exists at the present moment. Reference 1751. Letter 10th April 1972. The Krishna consciousness movement aims to solve the problems of life. If you want to solve the problems of life without any difficulty very easily, then this is the moment. Krishna consciousness. Very simple and easy. Reference 1752. Lecture 25 July 1971. The Krishna consciousness movement is teaching all of human society this principle of becoming Krishna conscious, and thus solving the problems of life forever. Tyagta deham punar janam neti mama eti so Arjuna. Srimad Bhagavad Gita 4.9. Reference 1753. Srimad Bhagavatam 10.1.44 purport. Many people try to improve society, but do not know the secret. Srila Prabhupada does. People are trying to elevate the status of the society by so many things, but they do not know the secret. The secret is that if one is trained only to become a devotee of Krishna, all good qualities automatically will be visible in his person. There is no need of separate endeavor to make a man honest, to make a man religious, to make a man high thinking, simple living. Samo dhamas titiksha arjavan jnanam vignanam astikyam. Bhagavad Gita 18.42. All these qualities immediately develop. Reference 1754. Lecture 26 July 1973. Hence, the Krishna consciousness movement is the only panacea in a troubled world. This Krishna consciousness movement, inaugurated by Lord Chaitanya, is the only panacea for all the diseases of the material. Prabhuji, yes, go ahead. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yeah. World, reference 1755. Letter 22 January 1970. Hare Krishna, this transcendental sound is the only panacea for all material diseases. Reference 1756 and 1757. 1756 reference. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, the reference it's not displayed. Hare Krishna. Karthik, am I audible?
No. Am I audible now?
You are audible now.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, you are audible, Prabhu.
Okay, but what I'm saying is that it is not panacea, it is panakia.
Panakia, kya? Okay, Panakia. Okay, Prabhu. Panakia. Okay, Prabhu. Because after a long time I'm reading this and encountering this word.
Yes.
Letter 13 September 1970. 1756. Clearly, Srila Prabhupada's reference to disease in this condition indicates all kinds of difficulty. Only panakia. Prabhuji,
there is lot of sound na from my this one.
Yes, Prabhuji, lot of sound from your end.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, yes. Yes, Prabhuji. No, on 1758 reference, Prabhu. Lecture 24 December 1970. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's message is the only panacea for suffering humanity. Reference 1759. Chaitanya concluding words. The first step in solving problems is to understand what the real problems are. I saw one telephone company advertisement. If you have any problem, do not hesitate to call us. Therefore, I advised our secretary to ask the telephone company, I have got this problem, Janam Mrityu Jara Vyadhi, birth, death, old age and disease. Can you help me? Then they should be informed. If you have no information for solving this problem, then please send all men who are inquisitive about these 4 problems to us, to ISKCON. We shall solve it. Reference 1760. Lecture 4 July 1971. The real problem is not overpopulation or pollution, malnutrition, etc. But the actual problem is godlessness. Reference 1761. Letter 27 July 1973. To address material problems, the Krishna conscious movement must not be exclusively.
Prabhu, what I was thinking here is that this particular quote is there. We can send to all ISKCON temples. The real problem is not overpopulation, pollution, or malnutrition, but actually it's not business.
Yeah, okay, yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, after this as heading, next devotee can read it because
After this, after this
I may
topic.
not be able. After this section, I can from now, because before starting I will just tell. Otherwise, because I'm on the way. Next, I don't know. Paramatmananda Prabhu can read, then Sham Swarup, then Saurabh can read. Okay, one section before because I am in somewhere in this one. Okay, I'll mute it myself.
Okay, Prabhu. Okay, I give display, Prabhu, this page. I will complete this topic and I will pass it to other devotee who's very. Yeah, Prabhuji, we were not here, Prabhu. Okay, so real problem, this one, this one. Prabhu, the previous one, To address material problems, the Krishna conscious movement must not be exclusively spiritual, but inclusive of all sides of life. Our Krishna conscious movement is a spiritual movement. Also, it is a reformatory movement. inclusive of all sides of life. Do not think that we are simply chanting and dancing. Her philosophy includes all different activities of humankind: religious, political, social, cultural, industrial, everything. Reference 1762. Lecture 1 July 1972. We shall follow strictly to politics, economy, sociology, philosophy, religion, art, culture, everything. We are not only for Hare Krishna. Of course, Hare Krishna is ultimate. That includes everything. But we should never say that politics is not our field. Why not? Krishna took part. Krishna instructs everything. Reference 1763. Conversation January 1977. Societal well-being follows automatically from Krishna consciousness. For instance, we are not striving for social or political unity, but if Krishna consciousness is accepted, there will be automatically be political, social, and religious unity. Reference 1764. Shyam Sundara Dasa, Chasing Rhinos with the Swami, Volume 2, page 69. Krishna is teach the real Vedic culture to India. Back to Godhead, Article 43, 1971. Srila Prabhupada did not want the Krishna consciousness be seen as an impractical, otherworldly, feel-good fad. Rather, the Krishna consciousness movement is there to give all facilities for both material and spiritual advancement. Reference 1765. Srimad Bhagavatam 4.25.13 purport. And thus, when the Praja citizens become Krishna conscious, they can then expect a good government and good society, a perfect life, and liberation from bondage of material existence. Reference 1766. Srimad Bhagavatam 9.15.15 purport. Yes. Through this Sankirta movement, we can only get all facilities for living, but also at the end, we can go back home, back to Godhead. Reference 1767. So the Science of Self-Realization, chapter 6. Our Krishna consciousness movement is intended to teach how everyone can live peacefully in this material world and at the end of the life, return home, back to Godhead. Reference 1768. Prabhuji? Yeah. Srimad Bhagavatam 7.15.68 purport. If people throughout the world take to Krishna conscious movement and chant the easy sound vibration of the transcendental name and fame of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there will be no scarcity of rainfall. Consequently, food, grains, fruits, and flowers will be properly reproduced, and all the necessities of life will be easily obtained. An intelligent person should try to spread Krishna consciousness through the chanting of the holy name of the Lord, and all necessities of life will automatically follow. Reference 1769. Srimad Bhagavatam 7.14.7 purport. Yes, Prabhuji, somebody else can take. Just want to say that actually in Hyderabad, I don't know, Karthik Prabhu, if you know or not, but during Srila Prabhupada time, he organized I think, governor or I don't know, chief minister of Hyderabad. He actually said that we are not having rains. Then he organized a Sankirtan and then the rain started. So, Prabhupada, during Prabhupada time.
Yes, Prabhuji, I know that. I've read it.
Yeah. This our Guru Maharaj has also told in many times, several times, multiple times in the lecture. Yeah. Okay, Prabhuji, who will select to take? Please take.
Uh, Jivanuga Prabhu, there is one devotee, Jivanuga Das, newly came. So he can read. Or new devotees to read, whoever joins. Jivanuga Prabhu, is it okay? You can read. Hare Krishna, Jivanuga Prabhu? I don't know, he's not there. Okay, Paramatmananda Prabhu, you can grab and read. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Solving all social problems. Seeing that in modern civilization there is no program.
Prabhu, it is not Prabhu solving all societal problems. It is not social problems, societal.
Okay, bro. Hmm. Solving all societal problems. Seeing that in modern civilization there is no program for peaceful, happy life, things are becoming more and more problematic everywhere. Unquote. Reference 1770. Conversation 10 June 1976. Srila Prabhupada proffered the solution. People are suffering, but if people take this Krishna consciousness movement seriously, if they stop their sinful activities and chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, all their problems will be solved without difficulty. Reference 1771. Srimad Bhagavatam 9th Canto, Chapter 1, Text 17 Purport. The whole problems of the world can be solved only by this movement. How to love God. This is a very sane proposal. Let anybody come before us and we shall be able to convince him that this is the only solution for all the problems of the world. Try to love God and everything will be solved. Otherwise, there is no possibility. Reference 1772. Lecture 2 December 1968. Religious, social, political, philanthropical, science, everything included. We can give advice for solving any problem. Reference 1773. Conversation 4 July 1975. Noting this, a professor accurately observed, Prabhupada claimed that the high crime rate, the dissolution of stable family forms, and even the alienated alienated work conditions of many modern societies were attributable not simply to social or economic causes but to the absence of a specifically transcendental spirituality and practice centered around devotion to Krishna as God. Reference 1774. Charles Salinger, Charisma and Religious Innovation. What is the meaning of this ICG?
ISKCON Communication Journal.
ISKCON Communications Journal.
Okay.
One second. Prabhuji, you can stop here. There are many devotees to read. So I would request some other devotee to read.
Okay.
Yeah. Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhu, you can please take over and read.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
1 second. Let me mute because I am in the traveling.
Ignorance is the problem. Referring to, quote, the present confused state of humanity, unquote, reference 1775, the nectar of instruction, text 7 purport, and the useless solutions proposed by so-called experts, Srila Prabhupada discerned that the real problem is ignorance. When asked by a group of psychiatrists for his prescription to solve the ever-increasing problems of the world, Srila Prabhupada replied that, quote, without perfect knowledge, you will simply increase your problems, unquote, and that too get perfect knowledge, quote, you have to go to the perfect person, unquote. Srila Prabhupada then proceeded to impart perfect knowledge of the eternal soul as the life force within the material body. Reference 1776. Conversation 19 Feb 1975. Quote, knowledge is the solution, unquote. Reference 1777. Srila Prabhupada quoted in, quote, knowledge is the solution, unquote, Back to Godhead, Article 13.9, 1978. And, quote, this is knowledge, that everything belongs to Krishna or God, unquote. Reference 1778. Lecture on 15th August 1966. We are manufacturing so many ways of happy life. This, quote, ism, that plan, that plan. So many plans. We are seeing so many suggestions on the television. Quote, this is the problem. This is the suggestion. This is the problem. Unquote. Full of new problems, new suggestions. But because we are lacking this Raja Vidya, the king of knowledge, we are perplexed. But if you know that Krishna is the root cause of everything, and if we serve Krishna, then every problem will be solved immediately. Reference 1779. Lecture on 20 April 1976. As stated in the invocation to the Sri Ishopanishad, quote, all incompleteness is because of the incomplete understanding of the complete whole, unquote. The proper understanding. Our point is that Krishna is neither Hindu nor Muslim nor Christian. He is the supreme personality of Godhead, proprietor of everything, the supreme enjoyer, and the most well wishing friend of everyone. We want to impress these 3 points everywhere, and by such understanding, surely there will be peace and prosperity all over the world. Reference 1780. Letter on 16th Feb 1971. However, quote, unless people become sinless, it is not possible to understand what is God, unquote. Reference 1781. Conversation on 5th August 1973. The greatly sinful acts of mistreating cows are responsible for all the troubles in present society. Yet people do not know this. In the Kali Yuga, the calves are separated from the cows as early as possible for purposes which may not be mentioned in these pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. The cow stands with tears in her eyes. The Shudra milkman draws milk from the cow artificially, and when there is no milk, the cow is sent to be slaughtered. These greatly sinful acts are responsible for all the troubles in present society. People do not know what they are doing in the name of economic development. The influence of Kali will keep them in the darkness of ignorance. Despite all endeavors for peace and prosperity, the people will fail to achieve them unless they try to teach that the cows and bulls are happy in all respects. Foolish people do not know how one earns happiness by making the cows and bulls happy, but it is a fact by the law of nature. Let us take it from the authority of Srimad Bhagavatam and adopt the principles for the total happiness of humanity. Reference 1782. Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, first 17th chapter, shloka number 3 purport. Therefore, people need to be educated to avoid sinful activities. At present, for want of Krishna consciousness or God consciousness, the entire world is in darkness, having been covered by the four principles of sinful life: meat eating, illicit sex, gambling, and intoxication. Therefore, there is a need of vigorous propaganda to educate people to refrain from sinful activities. This will bring peace and prosperity. The rogues, thieves, and debauchees will naturally decrease in number, and all of human society will be God conscious. Reference 1783. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, 9th chapter, 41st shloka purport. The Krishna consciousness movement means a solution to all problems, teaching people to become not sinful, because the sinful man cannot become Krishna conscious. To become Krishna conscious means that he has to give up sinful activities. No illicit sex, no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling. These are the four pillars of sinful life. Reference 1784, lecture on 24 July 1973. In this regard, Srila Prabhupada proposed, quote, to start the Society of the Sinless Man, unquote. Reference 1785. Conversation on 5th August 1973. Another angle on the cause of societal problems. The sufferings of human society are due to a polluted aim of life, namely lording it over the material resources. The more human society engages in the exploitation of undeveloped material resources for sense gratification, the more it will be entrapped by the illusory material energy of the Lord, and thus the distress of the world will be intensified instead of diminished. References 1786, 1787. Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, second chapter, 37 shloka purport. See also, quote, the core defect of modern civilization.
Prabhu, somebody else can read.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Thank you. Shyam Swarup Prabhu, you can read this section. And then next Saurabh can read.
Okay,
Let
Prabhu.
me
Hare
let
Krishna.
me let me unmute myself.
Krishna consciousness is the solution. Noting that, quote, disparity in human society is due to lack of principles in a godless civilization. Unquote. Reference 1788, Srimad Bhagavatam Preface. Srila Prabhupada advised that unless you treat the spiritual disease of the human society, then the problems will increase. It will never be solved. The real disease is spiritual disease. Reference 1789, Conversation, 1st March 1975. By pinpointing the root cause of all tribulations, Srila Prabhupada was able to offer the actual antidote. He looked at the symptoms of our times and could describe very accurately what was going on below the surface. It's not lack of food, clothing, or even shelter that's the problem. What Prabhupada showed us was that it is people's refusal to surrender to Krishna, to love and serve him, that is at the root of the problem. Reference 1790, unnamed disciple cited by Charles Selengat. Quote, Charisma and Religious Innovation, ISKCON Communications Journal, Article 4.2, December 1996. That, quote, The cause of all unhappiness in modern human society is lack of Krishna consciousness. Reference 1791, letter 18 Jan 1969 was a central point of Srila Prabhupada's teachings. Our proposition is either political, social, economical, philosophical, or anything. Without Krishna, it is all zero. Reference 1792, Conversation 28 July 1975. The devotional service of the Supreme Lord is the only process by which all problems of all classes of men can be solved. Everyone should therefore take to Krishna consciousness and make his life perfect. Reference 1793. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, text 33, purport. He detailed this as follows. This Krishna consciousness movement means to become a Vaishnava and feel for the suffering humanity. So, to feel for the suffering humanity, there are different angles of vision. Somebody is thinking of the suffering of humanity from the bodily conception of life. Somebody is trying to open a hospital to give relief to the diseased condition. Somebody is trying to distribute foodstuff in poverty stricken countries or places. These things are certainly very nice, but the actual suffering of humanity is due to lack of Krishna consciousness. These bodily sufferings are temporary, neither they can be checked by the laws of nature. Suppose you distribute some foodstuff in a poverty stricken country, that does not solve the whole problem. The real beneficial work is to invoke every person to Krishna consciousness. The example is that a rich man's son is loitering in the street, forgetting his father's opulence and property. Somebody, out of sympathy, gives him some food. But another person says, quote, "My dear boy, you are the son of a rich man. Why are you loitering in the street? Come, I shall take you to your father." Unquote. So, if that gentleman takes that loitering boy to his father, the father is glad. The boy inherits his father's property and his whole problem of life becomes solved. This is a crude example. Similarly, all living entities are loitering within this universe in different bodies, in different planets from time immemorial, without knowing that he belongs to the kingdom of God, that he is the direct son of Krishna, that Krishna is the proprietor of everything, that he can enjoy his father's property, and that these problems of material conditioned life can be automatically solved. Just like if you become a rich man, then your poverty is automatically solved. Similarly, if you become Krishna conscious and if you act in that way, then all other problems in the material conditional life solved. Reference 1794, lecture 9th December 1968. Succinctly, the formula for all happiness is that everyone recognize their subordination to the Supreme Father. The obedient son of the Father never goes against the will of the Father and therefore passes life very peacefully in concurrence with the head of the family, the Father. Similarly, the Lord, being the Father, all living beings should fully and satisfactorily discharge the duty and will of the Father as faithful sons. This very mentality will at once bring peace and prosperity to human society. Reference 1795, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 6, Text 6, purport. The real problem is want of God consciousness. Reference 1796, letter 28 July 1973 was the key point that Srila Prabhupada stressed in an extensive message to Sir Alister Hardy, a distinguished scientist who, after retirement, had founded the Religious Experience Research Unit at Oxford University. After meeting Sir Alister, Srila Prabhupada referred to him as a nice gentleman. Reference 1797, letter 27 July 1973. Yet, he felt that much more could have been accomplished by their discussion. Accordingly, Srila Prabhupada dictated a letter. Reference 1798, letter 28 July 1973. Srila Prabhupada dictated a letter which Shyamasundara Dasa described as, quote, a six-page masterpiece. With precise scholarly argument, Prabhupada not only addresses each of Harday's concerns for the modern dilemma, such as overpopulation and food scarcity, but he gives authoritative solutions to all contemporary problems. Reference 1799, Shyamasundara Dasa, Chasing Rhinos with the Swami, Volume 3, page 286. Reference 1800. The letter has not been included here due to its length. It is available in the Bhakti Vedanta Vedabase. Krishna consciousness can alleviate all the suffering in the world. The world is in a very precarious condition simply for lack of God consciousness. So, this should be our point of stressing that we should revive this emphasis on God consciousness everywhere in the world, and that will be our contribution. Reference 1801, letter 2nd May 1972. Krishna conscious devotees know very well that this material world is designed by the complete arrangement of the Lord to fulfill all the necessities of life for all living beings without their having to encroach upon the life or rights of one another. This complete arrangement affords the proper quota of wealth for everyone according to his real needs, and thus everyone may live peacefully according to the principle of plain living and high thinking. Unfortunately, materialists who have neither faith in the plan of God nor any aspiration for higher spiritual development misuse their God given intelligence only to augment their material possessions. They devise many systems, such as capitalism and materialistic communism, to advance their material position. They are not interested in the laws of God or in a higher goal. Always anxious to fulfill their unlimited desires for sense gratification, they are conspicuous by their ability to exploit their fellow living beings. When human society gives up these elementary faults enumerated by Srila Rupa Goswami, Atyahara, etc., all enmity will cease between men and animals, capitalists and communists, and so forth. In addition, all problems of economic or political maladjustment and instability will be solved. This pure consciousness is awakened by the proper spiritual education and practice offered scientifically by the Krishna consciousness movement. This Krishna consciousness movement offers a spiritual community that can bring about a peaceful condition in the world. Reference 1802. The nectar of instruction, text 2 purport. Simply put, surrender unto Krishna and all problems are solved. Everything, social also. Reference 1803. Conversation regarding philosophy of John Dewey. All problems will be solved if you become Krishna conscious. Reference 1804. Lecture 23 March 1977. Try to love God and everything will be all right. Reference 1805. Lecture 4th December 1966. Thus, the Krishna consciousness movement is distinguished from all other problem-solving attempts. Quote, it is not an ism just to make some temporary appeasement. It is the ultimate solution of all the problems of life, this Krishna consciousness movement. Reference 1806. Lecture 12th July 1969.
Okay, Prabhu, we might stop here. It's already 6 o'clock.
Okay, bro.
Okay, Karthik, what do you think?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much for all devotees to attend here. And we will meet tomorrow at 7:15. Okay, thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhibhyascha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. I am traveling, so that's why I didn't ask to ask questions or anything. It's difficult for me. Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
And there is a message here. Thank you. Okay. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Dharmesh Bhakti Vikas Maharaj ki jai. The mood and mission of Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.